So, y'all, here on the Wet City Show, we speak on many topics, mostly topics pertaining to history, our history here in Seattle, and history in general. And so, I just wanted us to take the time out to find out. Please just take a few seconds out your day just to check out this clip and with this brother speaking on real fast and the importance of it for us all and our culture. So just take a few seconds out your day just to check this out real fast. All right, let's go ahead and get into it.
If black people focused on building Africa the way we built America, then America wouldn't even be a factor. Message. What I see happening is black people, African Americans, black Americans, whatever the label is, becoming whiter and whiter and whiter and whiter. I see y'all drifting closer and closer and closer to what the enemy wants you to be, because it's more convenient to assimilate and conform than it is to be pro-black and fight for freedom. I see black people creating a sellout culture that condemns pro-blackness, that alienates pro-blackness and makes it seem uncool to be pro-black. What kind of black person says they don't want to go to Africa? What kind of black person says they don't want to date a black man or black woman? How can any black woman speak negatively on the entire black men population? And how can any black man speak negatively on the entire population of black women? If you know your history, then you couldn't possibly generalize either of those groups, because you know what initiated the drama, what initiated the trouble, what initiated the trauma, dysfunction, and bad habits in this community was not a black man or a black woman. If you're so far down the self-hatred rabbit hole to where you're speaking negatively on a continent comprised of people that look just like you, Africa, if you're so far down the self-hatred rabbit hole that all you can do is speak down upon black men, if you're so far down the self-hatred rabbit hole that all you can do is speak down upon black women in a time where black unity is more important than ever, you're the problem, not the community.
That's an important part of it. In a time when black unity and unity is so important, and all of a sudden it's ironic that we start to see this agenda that some folks are pushing, and that I feel the powers that be are trying to put on the forefront, with just how some black African Americans are speaking when it comes to separation and division and not identifying as African and with their African heritage in the motherland, as well as you seeing just a few Africans speak like that too. I don't think it's the majority though. You know what I mean? And this is something that I spoke on many times in my previous videos, many times before. So it's not like I'm just trying to hop on some trend with, which this should be the new trend of understanding. And what's interesting is that if you think about it, like, you don't see Chinese people who have come from China to America say that, or even if they were born in America, being from China or so, their heritage, you don't see them saying, oh, you know what, I'm not, that's not my motherland, I don't identify with them, or I don't identify as Chinese. You don't see that. You don't see Samoans who've come from Samoa or who were born in America still say, oh, that's not my motherland, or I don't identify as Samoan, or I don't identify with you don't see it. It's like we're the only race of people who does this. And again, it's not I don't believe it's the majority. It's just a few people that they're trying to put on the forefront. People who may have had personal bad experiences, one-time bad experiences, because most of the time that's what it takes for somebody to hate a whole race, hate their own heritage, or to hate the idea of something. Is just one bad interaction with somebody or some type of situation. instead of remembering that we have to treat everything like, everybody still, even though it's difficult as individuals, not as a whole, but nonetheless, people get bitter and broken, and they speak these, negative concepts and so forth. But you don't see that with no other race. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's so important for us, like, to understand these things, like, when it comes to like our heritage, like the same way that we can learn from our Africa with our brothers and sisters in Africa. So the same way we can learn our heritage and wisdom and knowledge from them, you know what I mean? It's the same way they can learn from us Black African Americans when it comes to our history here, our knowledge and wisdom. We can learn from each other and our heritage, and in the unity. It's so important for us not to lose that heritage and that connection to our heritage. You know what I mean? And again, all of a sudden, once we start finding out all these amazing facts, I know me personally, just in the past couple years, I have learned more about Black African history than I've ever in my entire life. And history has always been a subject that I would excel in and pay attention to. If I didn't pay attention to nothing else in school or elementary or high school, history I would. We've never learned these things. It's so fascinating, the facts of that we're starting to just find out about Black African Americans, achievements and things that we've done. And the history that we've just starting to find out about Africa and how they rewrote history and left out so many important facts that boggles our mind that we never learned about ever. All of a sudden, as we start making that connection and learning, all of a sudden this agenda to separate us comes about, and it's so ignorant and foolish. And another thing too, like when you see these certain brothers and sisters who begin online and speaking, like, you see, we need to stop posting individuals like that. Like, you see people posting like some sisters who be, all black men ain't nothing, or I need a 6-figure man, and oh yeah, I need this, that, like, and they sound so ignorant, but really. And vice versa, the black men will do it too. Oh yeah, I need a black woman to do this and to bow down to me, all this, that. You know what I mean? It's so ignorant and foolish, and posting ratchet ass black relationships, knowing this isn't how the majority of us act or think, but they're trying to put just those foolish individuals on the forefront because people from the outside looking in believe that we all act and think like that. And I get, you posting something just to speak on or give constructive criticism on, but not just posting videos of just ignorant ass individuals speaking senseless, and you can just clearly tell that they're bitter and broken and just want to put negativity into the world or amongst their people or each other or the opposite sex. You see what I'm saying? I remember watching an interview on Tom Hanks last year that he did a couple years. Well, I don't know how recent the video was, but when I seen it last year, he was speaking in this interview, and he took the time out to pause and put emphasis on how he never knew that about the Tulsa, Oklahoma Black Wall Street bombing. He was like, I never learned that in elementary or high school. And he was fascinated on how he never was taught that. And he was like, I just learned this the other month. But he kept on putting emphasis on how he was like, how was I never taught this? You know what I mean? And so it's so crazy to think that we're just starting to learn about certain magnificent, amazing achievements and things that our ancestors have done, whether it's here in America or back in our motherland in Africa. You know what I mean? And so we got to make sure not to cause that division, and don't think like that. And if you do seem to think like, understand, it's just some people who think like that, and some people who maybe are out, the way of thinking is outdated. Maybe possibly elders or something like that, or so forth, who, you know what I mean? Because it's more Africans come to America. If they didn't understand, they do understand as they grow and create generations in America, realizing that they are black. You know, now they are black African Americans. Now they are treated like the rest of black folks. You know what I mean? It's very important to notice this. So I want to leave us with a video on an amazing history fact that was done in Africa, Nigeria, by the Nigerians. I believe it's called the Benin Wall. Fascinating, amazing fact in history that I never learned my entire life, but they would teach us something like the Lewis and Clark expedition. We would learn something like that, but we wouldn't learn something regarding such an amazing achievement of that magnitude in history when it comes to Nigeria. So I just want to leave us with this a quick, interesting video on this fascinating fact. Appreciate y'all. It's your boy. Like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what y'all think and y'all views on this topic and things in general. You dig? One love, no mean much, shoulder shrugs. Bet that, no setbacks. For sure, y'all.
The Wall of Benin, like one of the world's largest structures, but I've never known about it. And it was in Nigeria. It was the capital city, but they made interconnecting walls that stretched over 10,000 miles. And it was all man-made, and it was like the world's largest structure. But the British destroyed it in 1897.
Wow.
When they were colonizing it.
Lame.
But that's enough wall to circle the United States 3 times.
It says 4 times longer than the Great Wall of China.
How have I never heard of that?
That's what I'm saying. Even the people of Nigeria now, they don't even know about it. So like people are trying to like discover more about it to teach them of their ancient culture and stuff.
They started in 800
Imperialism.
AD and continued until 1460 AD.
Yeah, they said it took 150 million man hours to build.
Very little remains today. How is that possible?
Because the British destroyed it.
All of it.
Imperialism.
Is that not insane?
That's crazy.
Yeah, never heard of it.